Hi, my name is Charlie, and today I just wanted to talk about how to become a better study of language. More specifically, how to study Han Tzu a little more. I'm actually a Korean man, and in Korean we don't really use Han Tzu, we usually use Hangul. And why am I trying to talk about this? I guess I'm gonna make this video about 8 minutes, 9 minutes. I don't want to make it longer. I made a lot of videos about Chinese classics. The reason I wanted to talk about this subject is because Han Tzu is very deep in my heart. I'm not very good at it. I'm not. I'm actually worse than most Japanese and Chinese people in terms of writing it and memorizing it at all. Because I was born in New Zealand, basically. Of course, I was born in Korea, and then my parents moved there. So at the age of 2 and 3, I went to New Zealand, and I came back at 11. So I couldn't speak a lot of Korean. I was a much better English speaker, and I had to learn Korean from the age of 10. But why is Han Tzu so important? Because Han Tzu kind of gave me that. I just really liked Han Tzu because I just really liked I just like the beauty, you know. If you see this, I just like the calligraphy of it. Really, it's nothing special, and that it's not just calligraphy. You know, you can do calligraphy with English, German, French. You know, just English languages. I guess you can do it with Indian, Hindu scripts and Tamil or something like that. But Han Tzu, with calligraphy, it's more almost like drawing, and that's what makes it so valuable to me. And for this, I guess I'm trying to speak to the audiences of not just Americans, because I'm speaking English right now. I'm not speaking Korean. Well, I can make a video on Korean, but with Korean people, the audience. I'm not saying I'm gonna. I'm saying, I guess my audience here will be people who are trying to learn Chinese, or maybe even learn Japanese or Korean. You know, because even Korean has more Han Tzu in its language than Japanese, although we only teach Hangul. So I guess the title of the video would be how to study Han Tzu more effectively, right? And of course, I'm making a video on a whim here, so you gotta forgive me. I know it's very unprofessional, but I'm not trying to be a professional. If you want to study Han Tzu really well, and you might be asking, who are you to tell me how to learn it? Well, I'm just gonna say it right out of the bat. You have to really just love it. There's no other way. You could say you have to be talented. I just don't believe in that. You have to be talented, or like you have to be you have a good IQ or some a good spatial awareness, like spatial IQ. You know, like being good at pool, being good at billiards, because you know, Chinese is a spatial thing. It's not really a logical, like it's more like a drawing than a writing, you know. So that's what a lot of people might say to me, but say to you. The reason why I say you have to love it is because contrary to English or French, if you want to learn Chinese, the Han Tzu, it's best to learn it not always the easiest classics, like the easiest, like kids books. You don't have to learn it from there. Sometimes it's best to learn from the classics you really like, the translated ones. Like for example, I really liked studying Sun Tzu's Art of War. And Sun Tzu's Art of War is not easy to decode, the Chinese, the Han Tzu. But sometimes learning Han Tzu, it's best to start from there Nobody will tell you the best way to learn German is to read Immanuel Kant's. You know what I'm saying? Immanuel Kant's. I forgot. I don't even know his freaking book's like title. I'm just saying, like it's. You don't read to study Spanish. You don't start with Don Quixote, right? But in Chinese, it's okay to start there. I'm not saying like the modern Chinese. I'm saying like the ancient ones. And well, even if it's modern Chinese, I think it's okay. If you really like the translated ones, get the modern Chinese version. I think Han Tzu has that kind of logic to it. And the reason why I say that, you have to just get to really like writing it. You just have to really like writing the Han Tzu. Then you start to just constantly see it. You start to see it in your daily life first. But that's like the low level thing. I think the high level thing is just to really enjoy watching Han Tzu in terms of books. So for me, I constantly read Confucius classics, Lunyu, which is like Nono in Korean, which is the Analects. And I constantly read it every day, and I learn one or two Chinese Han Tzu every day. And people who say, "Oh, you gotta have flashcards," it's all bull. It's all bull. BS. It's all BS. It's just I don't want to use profane language, but it's up to that point where I want to say it's BS. Flashcards. It's like saying, "Oh, you have to learn English by reading flashcards." It's the same thing with Chinese. No, it's not the same. Just don't use flashcards. Just read. But first, you want to use maybe like daily life, like kind of watch Chinese dramas or Japanese dramas, Musashi's drama or something like that, and whatever it is. If there's Han Tzu just below it, or kanji, I don't care what you call it. If it's kanji or Han Tzu, just constantly watch that on video. That's my advice. But the best one is to constantly read it on books. For example, I have a tote bag here, and I always have a novel, Tender is the Night, but I always have Menches together. There's Menches, and there's always writings here. And when I read this every day, I at least learn one or two. And you think that has no effect on me? It has some effect in terms of my knowledge of the language. And I know if you're a Westerner or if you're the ABCs of Americans, like the American-born Chinese, and you want to kind of learn your own stuff, whatever it is, and you're just not good at it. I don't know if I'm the best one to teach you, but I think I know at least the motivation in terms of how to, motivate yourself, how to, in disciplining yourself to learn it, much more than anybody else in the world. And I guess the title here I said is How to Study Han Tzu, and I think I kind of gave you the gist here, how to learn it. And I think nobody can really talk about the discipline and motivation required to actually learn it. I'm not saying when I see a Chinese person I can like speak really well, or a Japanese person. Actually, the third language I learned was Chinese. And Japanese is like my fourth, but I have no idea how to speak Japanese. Chinese, I can say like, "Hey, how's the computer? Is your computer well?" So, like very easy stuff. But even in terms of the Korean language, there's a lot of Han Tzu. There's so much Han Tzu that I can really get why I spoke this way. And most Koreans are like, "Wow, I didn't know that our language had that kind of etymology." You know what etymology means, guys? I shouldn't really underestimate my audiences. But, I guess you guys know it, right? So it helps if you can really speak Korean like me on the get-go. But even if not, just being in love with the calligraphy can help you so much. And not just the calligraphy or the beauty, but the meaning behind the calligraphy. Do you understand that? And just wanting to read. And I would say constantly just reading Chinese books wouldn't help. You know, if you're not even loving your own mother tongue books, like say you're English or American. If you're American, you don't like Fitzgerald, you know, and you don't even read Fitzgerald, how on earth do you think you can read everyday Chinese classics or modern Chinese books or Han Tzu books or Japanese Kanji books? You can't. You know, it's just impossible. How many minutes? 10 minutes. All right, I'm gonna finish in 2 minutes. I know this topic doesn't require too much time, but I already took a lot of time, and I think I just got the gist here. And the last thing, I guess it's gonna go 14 minutes. I don't edit my videos because I don't care. I just don't have time to think about that. The last 4 minutes, yeah, I guess the title of the video, not the title, but the theme of the video is you gotta really love the drawings of Han Tzu and the readings of Han Tzu too, alright? The musicality. Just like Fitzgerald, you really like the rhythms and the intonations and the diction. Well, I don't know. Diction is the right word, right? Even with Han Tzu, you have to love the diction of it. And but Fitzgerald can't write the Han Tzu. He can't really like write an illustration of his words, but Han Tzu you can. Sun Tzu can illustrate with Han Tzu how to be a very good warrior, how to be a good general, a good strategist. You know, you really got to appreciate the beauty and the art of it, not just some logical stuff, all right? The last thing I want to say, it's also related to being really in love or appreciating Han Tzu, which culminates into being very good at Han Tzu, all right? Is really talk to many people who already know a lot of kanji or Han Tzu. Just talk to them. And I know with social media, maybe people are a little more isolated and more because of COVID, it became much more severe. But you know, don't let that kind of stop you. Start with saying, just trying to learn how to be more social. And learn by doing, learn by speaking, and you will see the logic of Han Tzu. All right. You don't have, but be playful. Don't be like disrespectful by trying to learn things from the other person. People don't like that. Don't try to like be so like goal oriented. Be more playful. You know, like some idiot American trying to learn French from a Frenchman. You know, like kind of like, oh, bonjour or whatever. You know, like be kind of be a jokester about it, and then they'll kind of comply a little bit more, and you'll be able to practice Han Tzu much more. I'm said, why is it not IQ that's gonna make you a better Han Tzu writer or memorizer of it? Or like talent. Why do I say more than talent? It's more about love. That's a very good question. I'm not saying you're asking it. I asked it myself, so I'm a good questioner. Sorry for the bad jokes, but the reason why is because, you know, when you see Leonardo da Vinci and what was it, Van Gogh? Van Gogh started at the age of 28. Drawing paintings. Are you gonna say Leonardo da Vinci? He's very good with the science and the mathematics of drawing. Does it mean that he's a better drawer or a painter than Van Gogh? No, not really. Not at all. Han Tzu is the same. Maybe you know a lot of Han Tzu, you know, but that's all it is. You just know a lot. And I actually like Leonardo da Vinci much more than Van Gogh. I'm just saying, even I, as a person who liked Leonardo da Vinci much more, can appreciate Van Gogh and his genius that Leonardo da Vinci may not have. I think Han Tzu is the same, you know, and you want to take that kind of approach when you're actually learning it. And the reason I said you gotta really know your own mother tongue. If you're German, be a good reader of German first before you actually go to Han Tzu. You know, if you're American-born Chinese, so what? Study more English more. If you don't even read books on freaking English, you think you're gonna master Han Tzu with flashcards, bruv? No. It doesn't work that way. So, do what you can. And I think I made this video as effective as I can. I want you to pay attention to the third one, to speak and listen to a lot of people. Not just to people you know, but just people in the shops and anywhere, all right? In the park, whatever it is. I don't care if you're in Japan. People are so introverted. I don't care if you're in Korea. I don't care if you're in Germany. You know, if you're in America, you have no excuse because everybody talks to each other. If you're in Mexico, you don't have no excuse about not learning this. You learn it, all right? And pay attention to the third one, but also pay attention to all the things that I said, the 4 things. First one is I forgot it. So just freaking watch this video again, and I want you to master the title of this video. All right? Thank you for listening. Subscribe and like.